So
You don't do any editing?
no editing. It's a 100% live. And that's, I
Oh
guess that's,
man, you perfect, man. You made for this, man. You made it. How long you been doing this?
well, I had like I said, I was in the health and fitness industry for over 30 years. So
Yeah.
when I started the podcast, it was only doing health and fitness and doing supplements. And then I started probably about 6 months ago after I got hurt and I couldn't work doing that anymore. I switched over to deciding to help veterans and entrepreneurs get their stories out there.
Ain't stressed about nothing right now cause everything's straight. I'm feeling so grateful, thinking my makeup for this wonderful day. Ain't tripping on nothing right now cause everything's straight. I'm feeling so grateful, thinking my makeup for this wonderful day.
Good afternoon, guys. Sergeant G here from the Stone Vet, man. It's a Friday. You know, it's probably been a long week for some of y'all. Some of y'all it's probably been a relaxing week for you, regardless if you're coming off vacation or getting off of work, you know. Like I said, every Friday I take the time to come to you guys, give you a little bit of podcast. Maybe you can put it in your ear while you're working at your desk so you have it with you and you can hear like you got your battle buddy with you. You know, this week I'm able to bring on Richard here, Richard Kaufman, man. This guy's big time. I remember the first time I met this guy, man, I told him, dude, how are you doing it, man? How'd you get into this industry to be as big as you are? He keeps telling me, nah, I'm big time, man. I said, dude, you just made number 8 for the top 25 veteran podcasts that are out there right now. I was like, look at this guy, man. Mr. Number 8. And I was surprised I had him. And a few months ago, I just had Travis Johnson, who was number 11. I said, where did I roll the dice and get so lucky to have you guys come on my show? A no-name show that's trying to make it to the top like you guys, trying to be on that same level that you guys are in, man. I was like, it's an honor to have Richard here with me today, man. This guy, he goes by the comeback coach, man. He's the comeback coach. He did his time in the Army. He's another guy that got his medical retirement out of the Army, serving his time just like me and you know. But he is known as the comeback coach, man. He has his show. He's doing 4 shows a week, man. I can do these once a week, but he's doing it 4 times a week. But you know what he said his secret is? He doesn't edit anything. Everything is raw the way he is, man. I said, that'd be lovely, man. But I got a lot of information I got to put out there so everybody can catch on to me, man. Hey, Rich, why don't you tell us a little bit about you and like what you're doing, how you are, where you are right now, man?
Well, first of all, I want to thank all of you guys. I want to thank you for having me today. I'm truly humbled and grateful to be here. I'm just a guy that got lucky, and I'm just having fun doing what I'm doing. I got a big, I guess the reason why they call me the comeback coach, because I'll just throw it out, you know, quick, down and dirty. Grew up poor. Dad hauled ass when I was 3 months old. Mom was an addict. Had my first taste of alcohol at 12. Was full-blown alcoholic by the age of 13. Joined the military the first time. Joined the military. Became an alcoholic and a drug addict. Got thrown out of the military for being a drug addict. Went back in a second time, clean though. But I was about to be thrown out again at the end of September of 2001. And where I'm sitting right now, I'm actually overlooking the Twin Towers. Dang. Or where the Twin Towers once stood. And so we knew people that were in the buildings that day. And something happened to me that day. I broke down into my couch. I started crying because I knew I was about to be thrown out of the military, and something broke inside of me. And I begged my company commander and first sergeant to keep me. They heard my whole line of bullshit before, so I figured I was still going to get thrown out. But they seen something different in me, so thank God they kept me.
Right.
I ended up within 3 years becoming Soldier of the Year. I ended up becoming a non-commissioned officer, and then during my first, when I joined the military in New Jersey National Guard, first drill, I was backing up a Humvee, and instead of him hitting the brakes, he hit the gas, ran over my whole right side of my body, ran over my head, and that's why I got a traumatic brain injury. I'm blind. So the military figured, hey, you know what? you can't shoot, we can't keep you. So they discharged me medically out of the military. And that's when I got into that really deep, dark depression. And that's when I started getting help. And that's when I met Gary V. And then that's when the whole comeback coach started.
Mr. Gary V, man. Maybe he'll see this and say, hey, who is this guy? Who's this little stone veteran over here that's trying to get his name out there, man? I mean, I remember when I started watching Gary Vee, I had another brother of mine. He's like, dude, he said, you want to get your business off? He's like, he watched the Gary Vee show, and I watched it. And Gary Vee said, you want to get your business off the ground? Get on TikTok, man. Let the people know who you are on TikTok. He said, they got so many people on there watching all the time. He said, that's the play to go, man. But Gary Vee, he's one of those guys that, what is he, one of those self-made millionaire type people? You know, you hear about these people who make it like that, and you're like, how in the world can you tell me your secrets? What did you do to become a self-made millionaire, you know?
You know, what he did is from the ages of 16 to the ages of 24, he worked 6 days a week at his father's wine store, stocking shelves 6 days a week.
Ain't that crazy? Like, everybody starts somewhere. That's the thing, though. You know, usually
while everybody else was enjoying themselves partying at the shore of the weekend, he was helped building his father's liquor store. And when his father got to $6 million a year, Gary Vee left with nothing and had to start his own company after that with zero.
Ain't that crazy, though? It can happen, though. That's the biggest thing. Is like a lot of people who are successful, who have made it, they like to tell people how they made it and how they did it. You know, if you see a lot of people, that's why I reached out to you. I was like, how are you doing it? How are you becoming number 8 on the top 25 freaking veteran-owned podcasts that are out there right now?
And I always say it's because of the guests that I have on the show. It has nothing to do with me. It's because of the quality of the guests that come on the show.
And that's the biggest thing. As you guys know, you guys been watching my shows. I've been trying to, you know, I reach out to a lot of people. I have a lot of people that do come on the show, you know, and a lot of them are veterans, and a lot of them are people who are trying to figure out, what do I do now? You know, because you guys know here with the Stone Vet, that's the biggest thing, is like, what is our purpose now at the 7? We out. Whether you did 4 years or you did 40 years, it don't matter. And what's the purpose now? Because while you were in.
That's where I struggled with, you know, because the second half of my military career, I was building myself up, going to correspondence courses, going to all kinds of schools, trying to become the best NCO I can be. And now all of a sudden, the next day I'm back on the block. I'm no longer Sergeant Kaufman. Who's Richard?
Right, exactly. And you're like, who is this, you know? And that's my thing. That's my goal. You know, with me, I mean, I've never been, my name's Juan. That's my first name. My given birth name was Juan. If somebody calls me Juan, I don't listen. I'm not paying attention, you know. Whether they go Garcia, or I start looking around like, oh, what's up, man? What's going on? You know, even my wife, like I said, I've been with my wife for 20 years. I met her when I was 16 years old. I was 16. When I met her, I was in a youth academy here in Oklahoma. Oh, like I said, man, I was going down, like you said, you were an alcoholic at 13.
Mm-hmm.
I was a pothead at 13. That was my poison, was pot. I smoked and smoked and smoked and smoked. But at that time, I didn't look at the medicinal benefits that come from it. You know what I'm saying? For me, it was all recreational. I was doing it just for fun, you know. But growing up and actually getting into the industry and understanding what this amazing flower can do for anxiety, for depression, for PTSD, for TBI, for arthritis, for Alzheimer's, the medicinal benefits that are actually in this amazing plant. Now it is medicine. I don't use it for recreational use anymore. It is a medicinal use. When my anxiety acts up, when my depression kicks in, you know, when those demons that we stuff in a box, the ones that we get in the box and we say, oh, put that on the shelf for now, I'll deal with you later. When they come off, when they fight that box and push themselves off that shelf, this flower has been able to help me with it, you know?
Yeah, and, you know, everybody has their own opinions on it.
Yeah.
And, of course, me, a guy that's in recovery,
yeah,
you know, I kind of have my own spin on it.
You got your own spin on it. And a lot of people do, you know, and that's a different thing. You know, a lot of people choose their own poison like that, you know?
Yeah.
Whether it's liquor, it's alcohol, whatever it is, you know, you have to know your limits when it comes to it, you know? And like you said, at 13,
you know, it's kind of like, you know, everybody I talk to, you know, in order to start changing your life for the better, it all has to come from within, you know, because like, even if you look at the word alcoholism, the last 3 letters are ISM,
Yep.
meaning I, self, and me. It's all an inside job.
Yeah,
Whether you fail or succeed, it's your fault.
it is.
If you fail, guess what? It's your fault.
Absolutely.
But if you succeed, guess what? It's my
It's your-
fault.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
see what I'm saying? So a lot of times you just have to start thinking, all right, once you start realizing that whatever happens in my life, I'm taking responsibility for. Whatever happened in my past, it's my fault.
Yeah.
Whatever happens in the future is my fault. But now, once you become to self-realization, life comes a lot better because then there's nobody else to blame anymore. And
No,
once you start
absolutely.
blaming others, life becomes a lot easier.
No, absolutely. And it's like one thing I tell my son. I got a teenage son at home, and he's a teenager, dude. You know what it's like being a teenager, man. He's 15 right now, and he's living a lot better life than what I lived growing up at his age. At his age, like I said, I was already into alcohol, into every drug you can imagine it by his age, but I didn't have any parents with me. My parents split up at 12. So it was me. My mom worked full time. She worked between 18 and 20 hours, a day, and she'd never be home. So it was just me and my sisters, and so I would go and just do whatever I wanted to do because they didn't have nobody to tell me what to do, And I try to tell my son, that's one of the biggest things I teach my son. I said, if you don't fail, don't be afraid of failing because you'll never learn. If you don't fail, you won't learn. It's plain and simple. In this life that we're in, if you become successful and you didn't fail before you got successful, congratulations, dude, because tell me your secret. Tell me what you did to be successful without failing, But if you don't fail, you'll never learn.
Well, I think now with this whole age of social media that if you're not real, you're going to be found out.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not the real deal, like I can go talk in prisons, I can go talk in rehabs, and they know that I'm the real deal, that I'm not trying to BS them. And now with this whole social media, you're finding out who's real and who's not. Those people that used to drive around in Lambos, now they're living back at mama's house,
Right.
living in you know what I'm saying?
No, absolutely. Absolutely. You get found out now. You get found out real fast now. You lying, dude. You be like, why are you lying, man? Like, what would you trying to get out of lying? That's one thing I was talking with Justin from the VRV, recently. And you know how everybody's like, oh, you got to get all these followers. You got to get these followers, this. And it's like me and him were talking, like, dude, these followers, a lot of these guys that have these 20, 30, 40, 50, 100,000 followers, dude, all they're doing are getting the clicks. That's all they're wanting. They're like, are they really following you and your mission and what you're doing, what you're providing? Like you with the comeback coach, with this show, you're like, my followers know who I am and they know what type of show I provide for them. And that's why they follow me. They follow me because of what the information that I'm providing them. It's not just
but the way I look at it, somebody once told me that Jesus only had 12 followers and he changed the world.
Absolutely.
So does it matter how many followers you actually have? No.
Not at all. Not at all. You know what I'm saying? There was a moment not too long ago, here a few weeks ago or so. I was struggling, dude, because he's another brother of mine, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of things, it gets frustrating, dude, when you see a lot of stuff, when you see a lot of handouts and you're just like, damn, this guy's already getting big on this. He's already done big on that. He's already done big on this. And, my wife says, dude, do you understand how rich you really are? Look at what you have. She's like, look at the beautiful house you live in. She's like, you got me, you got all these kids. I got 7 kids. 8 kids, 7, 6 kids. I don't know. I got a lot of freaking kids in the house, man. I got a lot of kids. I've been blessed. The Lord has blessed us tremendously. And she's like, just forget about that stuff. Like, you have us and that's all you need. And I said, you all right. I said, every damn time you always have to, she's so damn humble with everything. She just, she's my friendly reminder. It's like, she's the girl that slaps you in the face and said, wake up, dude, it ain't worth it. Like, you would look at what you have. I'm able to do these shows with you guys, be able to come out. This is my therapy session, to be able to come out here. To come out here once a week with you guys. This is twice a week. I think I had a Tackle 22 on earlier this week too. And so, and he's another brother too. He's another jarhead, and he's doing some amazing things with his nonprofit that he's establishing there in Georgia. But like I said, this is my therapy, to be able to come on the show and be able to talk with you guys and hang out with you guys and see your walk of life and what you're doing and the amazing things that have been coming around your life, with your podcast. I mean, like I said, you're doing 4 episodes. You said 4 episodes a week, right?
Yeah, but the funny thing is I think I'm getting more out of the episodes than the guys are, because I'm actually listening and I'm learning.
Absolutely.
All this knowledge. You know, I'm soaking up all this business knowledge. I'm soaking up all this knowledge. So eventually I want to write a book, and I want to write a book of just all the knowledge that I'm learning, you know? So I'm actually being blessed just by having them on the show. So I'm actually having more fun than they are.
Yeah, and that's how I feel. Every time I come on the show, every time I got somebody new, my wife's like, "Who you got today?" I said, "I got Richard today." I said, I had Eddie. I had Eddie from Tackle 22 earlier this week, and it's just like I'm going through. It's my therapy, man. I'm able to sit around and BS with you guys. Like I said, this is the whole reason of the show, is to sit around and BS, because it's the camaraderie that was lost when we got out. You know, you get out, you ain't got the camaraderie no more. You try to associate yourself with people, and you're just like, we ain't on the same. No, we ain't on the same. We're not in the same chapter of this book right now. Like, it's not. I don't even know how to talk to you guys. You know, my wife tells me.
Like, you know, with December 5th coming up with the Vet Social, all these guys that are coming up, they're all big time speakers. You know, guys that have sold $1 million businesses. A couple Green Berets that they got coming speaking, and then there's me. You know, it's like, I'm not coming for your wallet. I'm coming for your heart.
Right, absolutely, and that's the biggest thing, man. Because like I said, that's why it's an honor to have you on the show today with me. Because I mean, your mission is similar to my mission, dude. I'm here for you. I'm here to listen. That's the biggest thing, is makes up my biggest goal. Every time I stress it, I always stress it, dude. You have to build your community around you. Build the community around what you're doing, what you're into. I said, because when you associate yourself with other like-minded people, it's going to be a lot better life for you. You know,
what I did, like, I had to kind of I had to pivot, because there's so many different people were doing the health and fitness podcasts. And then there was so many people doing veterans podcasts. So I kind of pivoted my way into talking with veteran entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
And then when I'm talking to them about their businesses, then I get deep into their past and find what their struggles were. And that's when the veteran Oprah comes out in me. Like, I actually was talking to a gentleman, and he never revealed it to anybody else except on the podcast, but he was sexually abused by a priest. And he didn't even expect it to come out, but it came out on a podcast. And now all of a sudden people are messaging him about how many people have been abused. So now he's helping those people. So now every time I have somebody on, I want to get into their past.
Right.
Because I find out, you know, a lot of people, most people, I'd say 80% of people suffer some kind of trauma.
Oh, no, absolutely. No, you know, in this lifetime, that's what I tell people, you know what I'm saying? People like my brother over with Active Duty RX. I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's a brand that he created for, he's an Afghan Iraq war veteran. He created it to deal with PTSD. It's a natural supplement to help deal with PTSD, you know?
Okay.
Because whenever PTSD acts up, that's why I try to tell people, working with Rafa 180, my wife established Rafa 180. It's a natural wellness center is what it is. We deal with medicinal grade CBD. We're not your pop-up shop that we sell some bunk CBD and tell you, yeah, it's going to change your life, you know? Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. But we're able to team up with the company here in Oklahoma. So all of our CBD is processed right here. We put an order in, we go pick it up ourselves. We don't have it shipped in or anything. We go and pick it up ourselves. It's amazing because we can actually sit there and watch them process the whole product. Everything we order, we can sit there and watch the whole process from the plant to the oil, which is amazing, you know. But he created Active Duty RX, and when he first created it, it was for PTSD, for people who suffer with real bad PTSD. You got to figure whenever your PTSD acts up, you got to think about it. It's similar to a muscle spasm. If you ever had a muscle spasm, you know how bad them things hurt, right? You either got to go to the masseuse to get it rubbed out, or get to a chiropractor to get your back cracked, or whatever, get it cracked so the muscle can relax. Same thing happens with PTSD, anxiety, depression. Your brain is spazzing out. You don't know what to do. You don't know where to go. Your nervous system inside your brain is all twisted up. So what this is, it's like brain food. What it does, it actually helps massage the nerves and actually allow the blood to flow correctly, the right way, you know?
It works well. Yep. Stuff like that works really well.
And that's the biggest thing, is that he always stresses PTSD doesn't discriminate, dude. You don't have to be a war veteran to have freaking PTSD. In this life, we live a hard life, dude. We have a lot of hard lives, you know? And you don't have to be a veteran to have PTSD in this
Like
lifetime.
you asked me about the comeback coach.
Yeah.
The reason why they called me the comeback coach was I've come back from drug addiction, alcoholism, post-traumatic stress, homelessness, traumatic brain injury. Now I'm blind and I'm still fighting. So I was on somebody else's podcast, my friend Donnie Boyven, former Marine, and he has a podcast called The Success Champions. And we were talking about how in my past life, which was about a year ago, I was working with guys from the WWE, NFL, Major League Baseball, professional bodybuilders. And I started talking about what I was doing now. But then I told him about my past. And he said, you know what? More people need to talk about my past, to hear about your past than your future. You know, because anybody can be in the health and fitness industry. But how many people do you know that can come back from being homeless to now a $400,000 house with a beautiful wife and 3 kids?
Right.
You know, a lot of people want to hear that experience, strength, and hope. And that's where I try to be. You know, I just try to be that ear for somebody that's struggling, and that, you know, they can reach out and talk to them.
And that's the biggest thing, man. I think that's the biggest thing, is that people want to see how true you really are as a human being. They want to be able to relate to you, you know?
Well, I'm the same goofy guy you see here that you're going to see when we're out somewhere. You're going to get, if we ever meet up in person, you're going to get a big hug.
Absolutely.
That's the guy.
I'm the same way, man, because that's the biggest thing, is that you have to be real with yourself. When you're real, because like I said, I was listening to your show, man. I was listening to some of your shows and stuff like that. I like how you were saying the difference between goals and dreams, man. I was like, that's right. He's right about that, you know? And with the goal, there's an end, you know? And I was like,
you know, there's a difference between a goal and a dream. A goal has an end date.
Absolutely.
If you're just putting a dream out there, or even if you're just like, say you want to lose weight, say if you're trying to lose weight, if you just say, you know, I want to lose weight by New Year's, you're not going to hit your goal. But if you say, well, I want to lose 3.8 pounds by New Year's, then you actually have a goal and an end date. So you might hit your mark.
You might hit it. You know what your end mark is. You know what the goal is, you know? Like I said, I was listening to your show and stuff. Who was the last gentleman you just had on? I think it was his last episode you just had on. And I was like, man, this guy, I said, you're doing good. You got the voice for this. You definitely have the voice for this media stuff. You know, I'm still trying to figure out, do I got the face? Do I got the voice? Maybe one thing will come around, you know? People are talking about. What's that?
You have great energy.
I hope so. That's what I'm trying to give. What I try to provide is good energy, because I mean, in order to run a show, man, it takes a lot. You got to think about it. What are the topics going to be? What are we going to do? And then, you know, like how you asked me, what are the topics going to be? Honestly, dude, I just want you to be here with me, to be able to let me come out and talk with you, and let's figure out something, you know, like how you the comeback coach. You said you wear a hat. What's the reason for you always wearing a hat when you come on your podcast?
So about 3-4 years ago, I started getting out of my depression. I started going for help. So if anybody out there struggling with PTSD, anything like that, reach out for help and go get help. There's no shame in it. I still go see a psychotherapist, so I still go to therapy. But then I started reading self-help books, and then, you know, Gary Vee, that whole thing happened. Right. And then, you know, I wrote my book, I don't know. You're a young buck, but I'm sure you've watched some of the old Superman movies.
Yeah.
With Christopher Reeve,
Christopher Reeve before he got into the freaking when he was Superman.
But when I wrote my book, I actually talked to Christopher Reeve's wife, and I asked her if I can use her husband's opening quote in my book, which she allowed me to use.
Wow.
So. And then then after the whole Chris Kyle thing happened, I wanted to find a way to honor him, because a lot of times, you know, after time, people forget stuff. So hold on real quick
for me.
We would like to give a huge thanks to Rafa 180 for being a sponsor. Rafa 180 offers pure medicinal CBD. They walk alongside individuals to achieve a healthy lifestyle with options needed by each person. You can learn more about them on Facebook at Rafa CBD, their website www.rafa180.com, or email at rafacbd@gmail.com. They truly believe your journey matters.
If you guys are struggling, you can always pick up the phone and call me. My number's 201-803-5120. Okay, he's back.
I'm back here. I don't know if you can hear this loud freaking machine I got going on in here, man. This thing is big, obnoxiously loud. I've never done this before. Let's see if we can get around this with it, man. It's been hectic, man. It's been crazy and everything that's going on with everything that's going on with this whole COVID thing too, man. It's been hectic, man. But you got a busy week, so
like I said,
the last show for the week, are you? Am I?
No. So the reason why I wear the hat, because I reached out to Chris Kyle's wife and family members and said, I want to honor Chris. And so anytime I do a show, I'm always wearing a hat, no matter what. Even when I go up on stage to do public speaking, I wear a hat. And I always ask him to ask me about it, because Chris Kyle gave his life helping another veteran struggling with post-traumatic stress disorder. And I just never want his memory to be forgotten. That's a big one. That's hard. I mean, that's a sad story what happened with him, because he went through his struggles of what he was dealing with, and then the way he was helping veterans. And then his story of what happened, you're just like, man, golly, like really and that's one thing that we have to remember is that when our PTSD acts up, dude, it happens. I just do that in honor of Chris, and I do that in honor of his wife and children. So that's why I do that.
And that's awesome, though. But for you to be able to reach out to Chris Kyle's wife like that, to be able to have like I said, man, you big time. You got a lot of hands. You got your hands. You got some big names and some big people out there, man. That know. Regardless of how you see it and where you're going with it, man, that is definitely one of the big things. That's one of the great things about doing a podcast, though, I think, is that you're able to reach out to more people and realize, hey, homie, this is what I am. This is who I am. This is what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to ride on no coattails. I don't care how famous you are. I don't care how big you think you are or how many followers you have. I really don't care, dude. I just want to know who you are.
And, a lot of people, like we talk about trauma, a lot of people suffer through trauma from the ages of 3 and 13. And then you join the military, and then you add alcohol to the mix. And you add war to the mix. So all of a sudden you have this perfect storm, and we're not taught to deal with that.
We're not.
Then,
no, absolutely.
And then all of a sudden we're back on the block, and we have all this stuff in our head, and we got nobody to talk to.
And that's the biggest thing, what I'm saying? Whatever our past brought us, I mean, some of us have had good lives as children, but some of us, like you said, man, we didn't have somebody there to help us while we were kids. We're growing up trying to learn this life as a kid. Then we joined the military. A lot of times, I mean, that's like my wife said. She's like, you got the Army and the Marines, dude. You guys are a bunch of freaking about to be convicted felons that had no life before joining the military. And now you're going to create a brotherhood, And when you create that brotherhood, you're like, dude, a lot of times you coming from the same walks of life. And the Marine Corps being one of the worst, you guys know how crazy those jarheads are. But you got to think a lot of the jarheads, man, they didn't have good lives. They're like, I got to get out of here, and nobody else would take them, And I'm sure in the Army, I mean, my whole family was Army. My dad was Army. My uncle was Army. I've had a lot of family members who were Army, and I was like, I want to be better than that. So I joined the Marine Corps, of course. But you know how that is. And with that, it's just.
I'll say one thing about the Marine Corps, in all honesty, and I love you guys, is that there is no ex-Marine.
No. You're the second person to tell me that.
And that's really, I think that's so commendable that, everybody knows that you're always a Marine. And I think, that's one of the things I love about the Marines. Plus, you guys got the best uniforms.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. How can people reach out to you? Where can they reach you? Where can they find you at, man?
All right. So let me just give you, when I met Gary Vee, all right, I told him, I said, I'm going to leave you, but you're going to have to give me something. He's like, what do you want? I'm like, give me a little, he calls them, little golden nuggets. I said, give me a golden nugget. He said, okay, if you want to be successful on social media, he says, make yourself a hashtag. So what I did is everything that I do, I use the hashtag, the comeback coach. And if they just put that hashtag in their search bar, it'll come up on my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Tumblr, website, podcast, and all they have to do is hashtag the comeback coach.
No way. You gotta see, I tell you, man, you gotta teach me your ways, man. You gotta teach me your ways to be able to do this stuff like this.
So just think, if you just did, every time you do an episode or whenever you do put anything out on your page, you just do whatever your hashtag you want it to be. And every time somebody puts that hashtag in, all those episodes will pop up.
Really?
And it's free. It doesn't cost anything.
Really?
Yeah.
You just put a hashtag on it, it's gonna they put in the Google search bar, they put that in there, you're gonna find you.
Yep. So, like you said, when it takes a while, but after you do that 100, 350, every
You've
time
done it a lot. You got a lot of episodes. You've done it a lot.
But I'm saying, even like every time you post something on Facebook or Instagram, add your hashtag to it. So that'll all pop up every time they put the hashtag in there.
That's good inspiration right there, man. That's the stuff I'm talking about, man. That definitely something I might start doing. That I'm about to start doing that for myself to be able to pull that.
And it'll come up on my book. It'll come up everything. Just hashtag the comeback coach.
Oh man, see, so there you go, guys. It's gonna be easy to find Mr. Richard Kaufman here. Like I said, definitely check out his podcast, man. He's got some great, amazing episodes.
And the podcast is called Success. Your Why Powers Your How.
There you go. Your why powers your how, man. It's been an honor, man. Definitely don't forget to check out his veteran social he's got coming up December 5th. You want to reach out to his Facebook groups, his podcast, his anything that he has. You remember, you hit that hashtag, the comeback coach. He's going to be there. You'll find all his information on that as well, man. Richard, it's been an honor having you on the show today. I know we had some
it was
crazy
fun.
I love it, man. This is awesome. This is what it's about, man. People don't understand that, but this is my therapy to be able to sit here and BS with you. But it's been almost like 2 hours. It's been almost an hour and a half, 2 hours we've been doing this, man.
What? I'm grateful for your friendship. And now that we've talked, I consider you a family member.
Absolutely,
so
sir.
If you ever need anything, you'll be getting texts from me just out of the blue. You're gonna be like, "What the hell is he doing?" And you'll see that I'll just say, "Hey, bro, just thinking about you. Hope you're doing all right."
Absolutely, sir. I'll be coming around. I'll be picking that brain, but like, dude, I got some stuff happening. I need to figure out which avenue I need to go. Now I need to hear from one of the greats that have been making these top 25 charts, man. You're gonna be at the number one. We're gonna beat out that Navy SEAL, man. We'll get there. We'll be.
And it's funny because one of the guys I'm interviewing tomorrow is actually going to be on Jocko's podcast on the 11th.
You're already doing it, man. You're getting the same people he's getting, man. I'm telling you, man. I listened to Jocko once, and I was like, this guy's kind of dark. I don't know if I can go this angle with it, but let me check out a couple more episodes.
All right, brother. Well, thank you so much.
Thanks, brother. I really appreciate it, man. I really appreciate you taking time out of your day for us here at the Stone Vet, man. Just remember, guys, you can hit the comeback coach, hashtag the comeback coach in your Google search bar. And you can always check me out, the Stone Vet USMC, either on YouTube or on Facebook, man. Just remember, here at the Stone Vet, we got you 6.
And my tagline is, everybody loves a comeback. Today, it's your day.
Everybody loves a comeback, man. I love it, man. This has been awesome, man.
All right, brother. God bless you.
Wonderful day. Ain't stressing about nothing right now cause everything's straight. I'm feeling so grateful, thinking my makeup for this wonderful day. Ain't tripping on nothing right now cause everything's straight. I'm feeling so grateful, thinking my makeup for this wonderful day. Hey, the intro is visual to your mind. Sit back, relax, and feel the vibe. I think about what I'm going through. I wouldn't be nothing without my guy. Gotta keep my eyes on the prize. I struggle and strive to survive. I'm just trying to make it. Gotta stay strong because these times so hard. And if you don't stay loyal right now, I'm chilling with my squad. You see me protecting myself with this gap. You know it's hard to stay alive. Been taking for me for so long, but now I'm back to claim what's mine. I'm going to war for what I need. The soldiers overseas and camouflage. Ain't stressing about nothing right now cause everything's straight. I'm feeling so grateful. Thanking my makeup for this wonderful day.